Welcome to tonight's webinar. This is the second webinar in the Education Library Research Skills for the Capstone series. My name is Kim Burton, and with me is Ann Rojas. Ann will be helping out and answering all of your questions. We are the liaisons to the College of Education. Tonight's session is on search strategies. We want to share with you what it takes to find what you're looking for in the library, how to locate relevant databases, how to formulate search terms so that you search comprehensively, and how to limit those results to get focused articles that you can use now. And all of this starts at the education research page in the Walden Library. Now, if any of you have ever had an appointment with either Ann or myself, or if you've seen us at residency, you are probably familiar with this page. It's the starting off point for doing research in the field of education here at Walden. And I'm just going to show you how you can access it from the library website. So here we are at the library website. If you click on the Research by Subject blue button, you'll get a drop-down list with all the programs that we have at Walden, and we can just click on Education, and that'll bring us to the Education Research page. And once you're here, bookmark it. So you guys are probably going to come back here a couple times. Now, we have a lot of resources on here. I can't go over all of them tonight, but I do just want to point out a few things. Over on the left-hand side, besides seeing a lovely picture, both Ann and myself, you'll also find a couple different ways to get answers to your questions. Quick answers are the library's frequently asked questions. If you have a question for the library, somebody's probably already asked that question. And if they have, we probably have a quick answer. If you can't find your answer in quick answers, you can click on Ask the Librarian, where you can either email us, you can chat with us if chat is open, or if you need a more detailed research appointment, you can click on the doctoral appointments button to set up a half-an-hour appointment to meet with either Ann or myself. And at this appointment, we will go over with you your research and your questions. So this is a great service that we have here for you. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit to this box that says Research Help.
Kim.
Yes.
Can I interrupt for a second? Your audio is just a little bit uneven.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can adjust anything to try to even it out.
Let me see. CMS system, test speaker.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, actually, that sounds better, I think.
Okay, sorry
Thanks.
about that, everybody. Okay, so we're just scrolling down a little bit on the education research page to this box that says Research Help. This is where we have a lot of information from education research basics to the literature review and everything in between. Methodologies, finding statistics and data in the field of education. If you are going to residency, this is where you're going to find the EDD residency or the PhD education residency library resources. And at the bottom, we have an upcoming webinars drop-down menu, which has all the webinars, upcoming webinars in the library. But at the very bottom, this is a link to the slide presentation. So this is tonight's session, and this is last week's, 2 weeks ago, that was the slide presentation for the first session. So that's just another place where you can find that. Now, I want to go up and talk a little bit about our education databases. So these are databases that we've put together to help you in your research. These are some wonderful education resources that we have here. Before I can actually go in and show you how to do a search, I have to talk to you a little bit about Boolean operators. Boolean operators are terms databases understand, and they help to expand or narrow your results. By doing this, they allow the databases to run very complex search strategies and get very focused and relevant results. So the first Boolean operator we're going to talk about is AND. When you use AND, you're actually going to get a smaller result pool. If we're looking for resources about student support and higher education, you're only going to get the overlap. the resources that have both of those topics in them. So you're actually going to get smaller, fewer results. Now the Boolean operator and will bring back more results. We use, the Boolean operator or will bring back more results. We use or to link synonyms or alternative keywords together for words that have the same concept. So for instance, if you were looking for articles about higher education or college, you'll not only get the overlap, but you'll get resources that only talk about higher education and resources that only talk about college. And I'll show you how that works when we're in the databases. We have to remember that databases are not the same as Google Scholar. You can't just type in your topic in a sentence and get results. You're not going to get anything if you do that. In the databases, you need to break up your topic into concepts and put one concept in each search box. So for instance, if our topic is how do academic support programs contribute to the success of students in higher education? What are our concepts? What are we looking for here? The first one would be academic support programs, and then success of students, and then higher education. So when we go to a database, we want to put one concept in each box. And you see the databases are already set up with those Boolean operators. They already have and in front of each of those boxes. So I want to jump out back to the education research page and demonstrate a search for you. I'm going to go into Education Source. Education Source is a great database, has a lot of educational materials and a higher percentage of peer review than some other databases such as ERIC. So here we have our 3 boxes. You can always add more if you need to, but you might not get as many results because the more ands you add, the fewer results you'll get. So let's take our topic and put one concept in each box. So we have academic or programs. Next we have student success. And then we have in the okay, that was strange. Then we have higher education. So we'll put that one in there. Now what we want to do is we want to scroll down and we want to limit our results. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to uncheck full text. And the reason we do this is, well, full text is great if you have a weekly assignment or a discussion post and you need that resource right away. But you guys are searching for your capstone. You're in it for the long haul. You want to find everything out there. And Walden has a lot of great stuff, but we don't have everything. So if you uncheck full text, you can get some items that we may not have access to, but we can find for you. And I'll talk a little bit about that later on. Now, I know everybody's interested in the current literature 5 years from your anticipated graduation date. However, right now, we're searching for search terms. We want to find all the search terms researchers are using when they discuss this topic. I'm not going to limit to date because I can do that later on, but I definitely want to limit to peer-reviewed scholarly journals. So let's go up and hit search and see what we get. Okay, so we got 33 results. Now what I want to do is I want to use my results to find more search terms to add to my search so I get more results. And I do that by looking in the titles. I look in the subject lines here. So these are basically the terms the database has assigned to this article. They're saying this is what the article is about. And I notice in here they have educational support services. And I think that is probably the same thing as academic support programs. So now this is where I'm going to use the or. I'll put that in here. So now I'm looking for articles that have educational support services or academic support programs. And since it's an or, when I hit on it, the search, we should get more results. And we do. We went from 33 results to 254 just by adding that other search term. So some other ways that we can get some search terms is we can brainstorm, other terms for higher education, college, university. Sometimes the databases, if you type or, they'll come up with some suggestions. They're going to say when people search for student success, they also search for academic achievement or academic performance. You can see there's a lot here. I'll click on this one. You can put in as many terms as you want in one search box, as long as they are all synonyms of one another, and as long as you have the or in between them. So now we're looking for student success or academic achievement or academic performance or academic success or student retention. Those are all terms that mean student success. If we go down, let's go down. This article right here, I'll click on the title. And when you click on the title, you'll get a detailed record. And when you do that, you have access to the abstract. So you can see other terms that researchers are using. And you can see here they have academic success. One of their subject terms is academic achievement. Those are all terms that we can put in here. That first, oh, wait, where did it go? I didn't hit search. So we added all those. So now we'll hit search. And it go, yeah, now we're getting a lot, over 1,000 results. So in higher education, like I said, we can just brainstorm, but the database is giving us some options. I'm just going to go with college or university. And I'll hit search again. And we have almost 5,000 results. So this is a lot of articles. Definitely too many articles. You know, now I think that we really have searched comprehensively. We found all the things that we can. One thing that we didn't do is we didn't limit to date, because sometimes older articles can have search terms that are important that we can use in our searches. This article here is from March 2007. That's too old, but let's say it's very important. It's really talking right on topic with what we want. You can see the database has found other researchers that cite this article. So if I click on time cited in this database, it's going to bring me to the other articles that have cited this. Now this one is still old, it's from 2010, but you can see how you can use this to find more current research. Let me see if I can find another example for you. So this one, they found one who has cited it. This one found two, so this was published in 2016. It's not that old, but so far 2 people have cited this article. This one is from 2019, this one's from 2018. So this is very helpful if you have older articles and you're looking for more current research. Okay, so now we're back at our results. And what we want to do now is we want to focus these on articles that we can actually use right now. The first thing we can do is limit to date. And we're going to do that in this blue column on the left-hand side where it says limit to for publication date. Usually when it says 18 something, that's a typo. It was probably 1981. Let's put in 2017. And we'll hit search. You never have to put in end date because it'll automatically search through the present. And now we have 855 results. So this is still a lot of results. How else can we focus this? One of the things we can do is tell the databases to search in a specific area of the article. So for instance, we can tell the database that we only want articles that talk about student success or academic achievement as a subject heading. So it's only going to bring back articles that have any of these terms in here in the subject headings. So I'll hit search and it narrowed it down to 482. We can also say we only want articles that talk about higher education or college or university in the abstract. And this is going to narrow it down for us. 116. So now we're getting some really focused articles that you can use right now. What I recommend that you do at this point is you go over to this little share button. And right down here, there's a permalink. Copy this permalink and save it to a Word doc or to a notepad. I don't know if any of you have ever been searching in the databases and then you get kicked out because your session timed out. If that ever happens, if you have taken that link and you saved it in a notepad, all you have to do is paste it in the URL, and it's going to ask you to sign in because it kicked you out. So you just have to sign back into the library, but it's going to pull up that result list for you. The only thing that it does is it defaults back to full text. So you'd want to uncheck full text so you'll get all of the articles. Now, another way that we can focus in on articles is by using the subject headings over here in the blue column. So sometimes they'll look like this. You can just click on the little arrow next to it. There'll be a list of terms and then a link that says show more. When you click on that, you get this pop-up screen. This is basically saying out of the 116 results, 54 have the subject tag education. So if I click on name up here, I'll list everything alphabetically, and I can go through and say, oh, I only want the articles that specifically are talking about academic support programs as a subject heading. I'll click update and it'll only bring back those articles. So this is a way to go from 116 articles to 6 relevant articles focusing in on the academic support programs. Now I can get back to my original results by going over to the column on the blue column on the left-hand side of the screen. The top part is your current search, and you'll see right here it says subject, academic support programs, and I can just click on that little X and it's going to bring me back to my original 116 results. And now I can go down and focus on a different part, such as academic achievement, or I can focus in on the college aspect of it. Now, when you have the results, when you click on the title, it's going to bring you to a detailed record, which is going to show you the author, the journal, the abstract. To access the article, you're looking for the PDF full text or an HTML link, or you're looking for the Find at Walden link. If you have the Find at Walden link, I like to open it in a new tab so that I don't mess up my search. And it's going to bring you to a page and it'll list all the databases where this article is located. So if I just click on this Taylor and Francis link, it'll open this article in the Taylor and Francis database. Now, this article right here, it doesn't have a Find at Walden. It doesn't have a PDF link. Let me click on the title. Yeah, and it has nothing in here. So this is just the abstract of the article. But if this is an important article for you to have, what I recommend you doing is either copying the title, or you can go over here to where it says cite, and you can actually copy the citation for it. And then go back to the library. If you're at the education research page, you can click here for Ask a Librarian. If you're on any page at the library, this banner goes across the top, and the Ask a Librarian link is here as well. And then either email it to us, or if chat is open, send it to us that way. The librarians have a lot of tricks up our sleeves. Sometimes we can find articles, they could be hidden in another database. Sometimes we find them online for free. If we can't find it, then we're going to send you to the document delivery service. The document delivery service is a great service that the library has. If you ever find an article that we do not have access to, you can send it to us through this service and request that we get it for you. You can remember document delivery service is a service, so you can click on the services tab at the top banner that goes across the top of every library page. And then in the box for students, there's a link to the document delivery service. Now, there are a couple of things you should know about this. First of all, it takes 7 to 10 days to get the document delivered to you, and it will be sent to you in an electronic format. So it's not something you're going to want to use for a weekly assignment. It's always free for you. However, the library has a $55 price cap. So if the publisher is charging more than $55 for the article, we will have to cancel your request. If that happens, that's okay. Reach out to us again through Ask a Librarian, and we can see if we can help you find it at a local library. There's also a 30 article per lifetime limit. I don't want this to deter you from using the service. I know it doesn't sound like that much, but I've only seen it really come up as an issue a handful of times. The document delivery service is run out of a different part of the library. It's not run through the instruction or reference side, which is where Ann and I are. It's done through the collections side. So you have to actually sign in. You can click on sign in to DDS. You'll set up an account. And then if you're looking for an article, you just fill this out and then submit it. So, Ann, does anybody have any questions or anything about that search that I did or the document delivery service?
So far, so good.
Great. Go back to that result list. Okay. Now, that search that we just did was in one database, an education database. You have to remember that you're not going to find everything about your topic searching in just one database. You're going to want to look in other education databases, but you're also going to want to look in multidisciplinary databases. Those are databases that have journals on a wide variety of in disciplines, education, business, nursing. And subject-related databases. So if your topic is on education of student nurses, you're going to want to look in nursing databases. If you're talking about distance education, that has a lot of technical computer issues with it. So you're going to want to look in the technical and applied sciences databases. And I'll show you where you can find those. So let's go back to the library homepage. And under research by subject, you can just click on any of these other topics. So I'm going to jump into psychology. I think all of you, after searching education databases, should come over here and search some psychology databases, because education and psychology always overlap. When we're talking about student success, success will have a lot to do with psychology. And you'll see the psychology research page looks just like the education one, except you have a picture of Andrea. And over here, you have under psychology databases, the recommended psychology databases that you should be searching. And like, as I mentioned, if you're doing distance education or anything technical, you can go to the technology and applied science data research page. And here you'll find our information systems and technology databases that we recommend. Okay, so was there any questions, Ann?
One thing, we did get a question about best way to find data on the subject. And well, I know we can't go into the details of looking for data sets or anything. Maybe you can show using data as a search term.
Certainly. Let me go back to.
Keeping in mind that there are other ways to do it too, but within the parameters of what we're covering here, Kim can just go through a quick example.
Yeah, so what you can do, let's say if we were specifically looking for data or statistics with this search, we can just add a row, and you'll see we have another and we can put some terms in here that means data or statistics. So I can actually just put in statistics, and you'll see it's going to bring up some other terms about data, statistics, data analysis. Let me put that one on here. Now, since I added another search box with an and, whenever you add an and, you're going to have fewer results. So I'm going to hit search, and it brought it way down. It brought it down to 14. But you can see here it has correlation and statistics in it. So let's add, correlation in there. And since I added an or, hopefully we'll get more than 14. All right, so now we have 22. And then you can go through and see what these articles have, what type of statistics and data they have. Now, back at the education research page, if you scroll down to research help, there's also a drop down. Where is it? I look at, yeah, right there, statistics and data. And these are links to other guides we have in the library that can help you search for them. And you can also learn more about statistics and data for education by clicking on here. And there's a bunch of links for you to use for more information. And to be quite honest with you, if you're looking for data sets and you want to use some of these databases, Ann and I, what we usually do is recommend reaching out to these entities directly, like the National Center for Education Statistics, because they'll be able to help you better searching their own sites than we would. Okay, so this is a link to the database search skills guide that we have. It just goes over some of the things that we talked with you about today. And we also have a link to the document delivery service. And finally, I just want to also go over again the quick answers, Ask a Librarian, and Capstone appointments. From the education research page, you can access all of those on the left-hand side. The doctoral appointments, Ann and I would both recommend that you choose to do them through screen sharing and audio. That way we can share our screen with you, so we can actually walk you through searches. It's a little bit easier than talking you through them over the phone. But of course, if you want to do it by phone, that is perfectly fine as well. And those are 30-minute appointments where we can really delve in to your topic and help you with questions that you're running into. So that brings us to the end of this session. Was there any other questions?
I'm just going to add that if we didn't answer your question, I'd put the appointment link in the chat box so that everybody can see it. And we are about to enter slots for April, so you can look for slots in April coming up soon, by the end of the week.
Great, thank you. All right, well then I'm going to stop the recording, but if anybody has some questions, we'll still be here for a few minutes.